Alrighty, what is going on? It is 6 p.m., which is early, on a Friday. And normally Fridays are my rest days, so today's day, I think 11 of the big off-season bulk. Normally Friday's my rest day, but the reason today I'm not resting is because next Wednesday morning, I'm going to get blood work done. And if I'm going to get blood work done, I can't train for 3 days beforehand. So instead of taking a rest day today and then training Saturday and then having Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off and training again Wednesday night after the blood work, I'm going to train today, take Saturday off. No, train today, train Sunday, train today, train tomorrow, take Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. So that way one of those days would have just been a rest day anyway and I'm not really missing out on any volume. The reason I take 3 days off from training before I get blood work done is if you've just torn muscle fibers and, done very intense exercise, you can often get like muscle proteins in your blood. So when you get liver tests done for your blood work, it'll basically say your muscle protein enzymes are super high in your bloodstream. That on one end indicates either you've just done very, very intense sport or exercise, or on the other end, it can indicate muscle atrophy or liver failure. So I want to know that if those enzymes are high, it's because I actually have a problem. The last time I had blood work done, I trained really hard, every day building up to it, just because that's just what I do. And the doctor freaked out and was like, your shit's really fucked up. And I was like, oh my God, why? And he was like, wait, did you train? And I was like, I trained multiple days before very, very hard. I think I done legs the day beforehand. And he's like, okay, don't worry, that's why. But just next time I had to, not train. So 3 days of no training, I'm going to get myself really well hydrated, really well fed. I'll get really good sleep because I won't have to stay up late because I'm not training. Late at night after work, I can get home and go to bed at a reasonable hour, which will be nice. Get the blood work in, see how everything's looking health-wise post-show, make sure everything's normal. Make sure my kidneys and liver are all happy. Make sure my heart's functioning well, I've got a good red blood cell count. Just general health checkup kind of thing. There's nothing I'm concerned about. So I'll get that blood work back, and then I'll go back to training from next Wednesday night as usual, and we'll go back to heavy deadlifts again. And I'll probably try and hit 250 again. Obviously I failed 250 in the video 2 days ago from Wednesday's deadlift video this week. But I would have just had 3 days off, so I should be nice and primed for a really heavy deadlift, or I won't go heavy and I'll try and go really heavy on bench on a Thursday. One of the two, I'm not sure yet. But the plan is we're doing Saturday as leg day, which is tomorrow's leg day normally tonight. Legs at night always does kind of suck, but I feel pretty good today. I haven't had too stressful of a day. I'm well fed. I slept decently last night. I'm not too fussed about it. I'll have an energy drink. I'm training earlier as well, so I'm not going to be as fatigued, which will be nice. I can have a little bit more caffeine and other stimulants because it's not going to be as late. So it should overall be a relatively productive leg day. I'm not too sure what the plan is. I think just heavy squats is the main thing I want to focus on. And then I'll go heavy squats, some sort of squat machine, leg press. Maybe I'll split squat and lunge superset. I'm not sure yet. Leg extension, and then hip adductor, and then calves, I think is the plan. We'll see how that goes. I feel pretty good. I'm not too sore. I'm just flexing everything. Everything feels alright. And then tomorrow on Saturday, I'll hit Sunday's workout, which I normally hit on, on Sunday. God, I'm losing my mind. And that'll be shoulders, chest, and biceps. And I'll hit that Saturday at some point after work tomorrow. And I might hit that out at Global instead of at World Gym because there is $30 parking at World's Gym on Saturdays because of the center it's in and the promotion they run with the NRL or something. So I might go out to Global tomorrow, hit my nice little shoulder, chest, and biceps day. I call it the media day because it's the day where I got a chest, shoulder, and arm pump and everything looks sick. And I might hit abs tonight as well if I'm doing well on timing. Actually, that could be a good idea. And I'm gonna hit cardio. I'm gonna hit cardio tonight, cardio Saturday, and I think I can. I'm not gonna do cardio on the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday before the blood work, but I'm gonna go for a walk and just keep my step count up. So I'm still, staying active and burning calories and getting blood circulating, because that'll also help with appetite as well. One of the main reasons it's important to do cardio in your off season is to stimulate your appetite. People always freak out and they're like, you can't do cardio when you're bulking because you're going to lose calories and you're going to not grow as much. That's not the way it works. If I burn 100 calories on the treadmill or on the bike or whatever in my off season doing like light cardio, not overly intense. It's not like prep cardio. And that stimulates my appetite, so I can eat a 400 calorie meal. My net is plus 300 calories. You're not going to burn that many calories during cardio. You know, they always say, like, for obese people, you know, you can't out-train a bad diet because, you know, an hour of cardio, maybe you burn a couple hundred calories. Let's say really good hour, 550 calories. You eat 2 big Mars bars, that's gone. That's an hour of, like, max effort, like, me doing prep cardio for an hour is gone with 2 Mars bars. You know, that's why you can't out-train a bad diet. So if you're doing like a light, I would say anywhere between 15 and 25, maybe even 35, 40 minutes of cardio in your off season, heart rate between 120 and 140. I know that's a pretty generous range if people function it, you know, in different ways. You'll find you are able to, but like in my head, you will find you're able to burn a couple hundred and in turn eat a couple hundred more. So you're going to be up calories and it's going to keep your heart healthy. It's going to improve your circulation, and circulation is important for growth because you need blood to get to the tissue to help it repair and carry the nutrients. You need to help carry nutrients around throughout your body. You know, a big thing for me when I was younger was I was sedentary. Like I refused to move when I was bulking because literally every step and every calorie I burned mattered to me. But that's counterintuitive because when you're moving, you're circulating blood throughout your body and that's carrying nutrients to your muscles and throughout your body, and that's going to help you grow. There's no point in having all those nutrients just sitting still, not really doing anything. So keep active while you're bulking. Don't freak out and be weird like I was and refuse to move and burn calories. Don't be that weirdo in high school who's like, miss, I can't go for a run. I'm bulking and I don't want to burn calories doing the 1600 meter. You know, if it was that easy to burn muscle and go catabolic, we wouldn't have men's open bodybuilders looking the size they are. You know, those guys still get to go out and go for fuck around and play with their kids and play sports occasionally and stuff. So, you know, live your life and enjoy your life. And just, again, be reasonable with everything. Obviously, if you're going for a hour and a half full effort marathon run every morning, you're going to go catabolic. Yeah, probably. But if you're eating a plenty and you're just going for a jog or a walk or a light bike ride, you're going for 15 minutes on the Stairmaster, whatever it may be, you're not going to, like, go catabolic. Especially if you're young as well and your hormones are that high naturally. It's just not going to happen. So it's not something that's worth stressing over. You're more, you know, and stressing over shit like that and having that stress is going to do more damage than what you think is actually happening from the damage of you doing cardio. You know, there was the whole, like, Jeff Nippard thing of, you know, cardio is killing your gains or whatever. It's just so old, such an old school way of thinking, you know. It's common sense, right? This is what I was saying in yesterday's video. It's all just common sense. You put nutrients into your body. If you want to circulate them throughout your body, through your blood and everything, have it carry the vitamins and minerals to the muscles, you need to get the blood circulating, so you need to be moving. If I want to eat more, and the best way for me to stimulate my appetite is by moving, going for a walk, going for a jog, going for a bike ride, whatever it may be, and I can eat more than I can burn because you can't out-train a bad diet, it's probably a good idea to do cardio in my off-season. Again, it's not going to be rigorous. You're not doing an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening fasted and taking fat burners going nuts. Maybe you are, I don't know. But it's just being reasonable. You know, it's like when you have a huge dinner and you feel like your gut's going to explode and you're super bloated and you're just so full another bit of food would make you vomit. The best thing you can do is go for a walk and burn it off so you can eat 2 hours later. Not sit there on the couch being like, oh, my belly is so big and full and round and oh my God. That just doesn't make any sense. You know, burn a couple of the calories off, get your, like, help your stomach and body digest the food and process it, and then go again. You know, it's like strategic eating is all it is. And you guys aren't being very strategic. You're just kind of eating and being dickheads and fat asses. Eat your food and stay active. Again, everything with bodybuilding is just health and fitness 101. You're just doing a little bit more of it. And that doesn't mean I'm eating a little bit more, doing a little bit less cardio. That means I'm eating a little bit more, doing a little bit more cardio. Keep in mind, I'm bulking in my off season. I'm doing cardio 6 times a week for just about half an hour each of those times. You know, and I would argue it could be higher. I would argue I could do 35 minutes, but 25 is what Matt has put me on. I would argue I could actually push a little bit harder, which is what I plan to do from tonight onwards. I'm going to push a little bit harder on my cardio. I'm going to start doing the bike. Get the heart rate a little bit higher, a couple more rotations per minute when I'm pedaling. Sweat a little bit more, exert myself a little bit more. Nothing crazy, just a little bit more of a push. You know, there's drawbacks from becoming too fat in your off season, which, like I said in last night's video, is what Matt said happened to me. So I'm doing a small cut. I'm halving my carbs for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to really hone in on my cardio, take it a bit more seriously, see where I end up, see if I need to pursue a full-blown another cut. Not a prep, but just a cut. Or if I'm going to be in a good enough place to actually then push food aggressively. Because the issue is I put on so much fat so fast that if I push food aggressively, I'm just going to get obese. Like, I'm not going to build muscle. I'm just going to get really fat. And that means the next time I go to prep, I'm just going to suffer because I'm going to have to go down to like 1,000 calories again. So that's the whole point of lean bulking. And when I say lean bulking, I don't mean like clean eating, because you're allowed cheat meals and meals off within reason. I was not reasonable. That is on me. I will not blame anyone else for that. I chose to eat like a retard, and I'm suffering the consequences because I'm now going back to dieting, and I'm only 5-6 weeks out of my show. So learn from my mistakes. I've just learned from them. I didn't think the repercussions would be as bad as they were. I think I was going to put on like 16 kilos in 2 weeks, but it happened, and now I'm suffering the consequences. And I can tell you this: the next time I do a show, I will not be doing that. I will be reverse dieting. I massively underestimated the importance of reverse dieting. I was a smartass and thought I knew better. I was a smartass and decided to enjoy my food instead of following my plan and my protocol that my coach gave me, who is a lot more knowledgeable and experienced than I am. And this is the consequences. You guys might think, oh no, he looks great. He's just, he's a little bit fluffier, but he's bigger and he's rounder and he's fuller. I am fat. I just hold my fat very well to the stage where you can't tell it. My legs are like entirely washed out. There's no shape or cross striations or anything. They've got size, cool, but doesn't look good. And my waist is very blown out. But again, you can't tell because even when I'm 30% body fat and massively bulked, I still have, the rough shape of my abs, at least the top 4, maybe the bottom 2. So it's just me getting greedy. And whilst you guys can't recognize that, I, to a degree, can, as long as I'm realistic with myself and don't cope. And Matt absolutely can, because he was just, I got flamed. I got flamed by my coach. And rightfully so, I didn't follow the plan, and I was lazy, and I chose to eat and enjoy my food. And I've realized after doing that how fucking stupid it was. But I'll be better for it next time, Making mistakes is fine, as long as you don't repeat the mistakes. That doesn't even mean learn from them, just don't repeat from them. You have to understand why what you did was wrong. All you have to understand was that it was wrong, and to not do it again. And that's all that matters. So that's what I've learned. That's the plan moving forward. But the thing to focus on now is it's leg day, and I'm going to squat really heavy. The last couple of weeks I got 180 for like 12. I need to try and mentally get there for 200 tonight. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but we'll see. Now we've got to try and find parking, which is going to be a little bit difficult because none of these people can drive. There is someone entirely reversing out of the car park. That is incredible. Wow. That's insane. Alright. Get my ticket. The one downside of coming earlier at like 6-7 is there's going to be no parking, and I have to pay for the parking I get. Oh fuck, there was free parking. I just didn't try my luck. Well, that's what I get. Gotta take risks. And I didn't take the risk. Yeah, so tonight, 200 kilo squat. See how much I get. Maybe I'll get like 4 and I'll fucking fold like a lawn chair. Maybe I will get 15 and I'll feel super fucking strong and good. But we're gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna eat. I won't record while I eat because I'm gonna talk shit with people. And then I'll slam a big Red Bull tonight, not a little one, because it's earlier. And then I'll have my pre. And then I'll get changed. And then I will squat really heavy. And then we'll go from there. I'll just see how I feel. The squats, like, if the squats are really hard, like, I've ate really bad max. I don't know if you can see, but I burst a bunch of blood vessels under my eyes, which I think is from deadlifting heavy and then benching heavy, and now I'm squatting heavy. It's like fucking SBD days consecutively. It's from benching really heavy. I don't really want to do more burst blood vessels, but we'll see. We will see. The issue with training like that is when I get onto my next exercise, I'm so gassed from going so fucking hard on the early ones that I can't perform anywhere near as well in the subsequent sets. So if I go fucking nuts on my squats, my leg press will be good, but it won't be as good as it could have been. So, you know, it's a bit of a debate there in terms of the overall volume and stress of the whole workout. You know, how much I really want to pre-fatigue myself with squats. But we'll see what the vibe is. We'll see how I feel. I'm going to go buy an energy drink. I'm going to eat. I'm going to get changed. And then we're going to start hitting legs. I will see you guys in the gym.
Thinking that I ain't gon' feel it. Yeah. I get dressed and ran in my system. Yeah. That's a pit of that black, but that piss. Yeah. Man, Trey really did it by the bus. Yeah. I ain't never give a fuck about the bitch. I won't catch you a lack, we'll lurking at night. Yeah, the quarter will do to the wall with the one in the red for the foot of my sprite. All of the domination, I got no check from Rally, I'll take them as every time I pull up on it, just look at my dick like this shit was a surprise. Here's a put up inside of the money, talking like you know that I'm working the curve. The kid said it, yep.
Cool back.
You got some nerve, I'm about to go give me the Glock with a switch with a dick with a big old clip on the burn. I don't be fuck going over these bitch, you can shut the fuck up and get fucked in this world. I'm rocking these diamond, these bitches, they sit on my body, but I'm a rationally pearl. We going straight to the top. I got a big old Glock with a switch, don't get you a mop. I got a big AR with a laser, just go stretch your top. I don't need get no vote, you saying, look, bitch, I'm high as a mom. Yeah, I got a big old crib, sitting inside the bird. Little kid talking that shit, now I can't say no words. I'm on big boy lit, I just put up in their yards. Yeah, I get dressed and ran in my system. Yeah, I just pit of that black, but that piss. Yeah, man, Trey really did it by the bus. Yeah. I ain't never give a fuck about the bitch, but it's sitting outside, won't catch you a lack, we'll lurking at night. Yeah, the porter go through to the wall with the one in the red for the foot of my sprite. Yeah, all of my domination, I got no check from Rally, I'll take them as I. Yeah, every time I pull up on it, just look at my dick like this shit was a surprise. Feeling the cool Bruce Wayne, I got that big old chain.
Alrighty, we are done. That was something. Definitely something. Hit the 200 squat. Happy with that. I got 6. I feel like I could have got 8. I have to review the footage. I'm not sure how the depth was. But I felt pretty decent about the 6. Like, they felt pretty strong. I felt pretty comfortable. I didn't really know how many I was going to get. I didn't know if it was going to be like 3, 5, 6, 15. Who fucking knows? But I'm pretty confident I can get 8. So the goal for next week will be 200 for 8. And then I might say fuck it and go for 200 for 10 if the 8 feels good. Who knows? And then went for a back offset of 180 for 6, just for the fuck of it. Wasn't overly hard. It was just 180. I'm pretty happy with where the squat's at. It's good, but I just want it a little bit better. You know, good doesn't necessarily mean good enough. I really want to be pushing closer to 250 for reps. I'd be quite happy if I could get to there. Same with the dead. I really want to be pulling over 300, and I'm quite a while away from that. I'm about a good, I would say, 60 kilos away from that. And same with bench. I want to be benching like 180, and I'm a good 50 kilos or so away. So if I can add 50 kilos to each of my big 3 lifts for my working sets in this off season, I'd be pretty happy, which I think is very manageable. Because, and let me break this down for you a little bit, because you might be like, oh man, 130 to 180, that's a big gap. But if I add 1 kilo total to my lifts for my working set, so 0.5 kilo aside, every week for the next year, and I've got about a year and a half of off season, I would be at that point. And I'm putting on weight at the same time while I do that, so I should be getting stronger, not only in the sense of my nervous system progressing, but also in the sense of I'm putting on weight, you know, relative to body weight, strength. So I think that's very manageable. I'm not too worried about that. I've never really been scared of numbers with weights. I think anyone that fixates too strongly on a milestone is just setting themselves up for failure, you know? The way I look at it, you know, when I say I want a 180 bench, that's not the end all be all. That's just the next step in the journey. If you see it as, you know, I want to hit 100 for 1 on bench, and that's my end all be all goal, you're going to get like 95 for 10 reps and not be able to do 100 for 1, because mentally you're just going to be such a block, because it's just a big, freaky, scary milestone. It's just a scary number. If your end goal is to bench 200 and you get to 100 and you're like, oh, this is heavy, but it's not that heavy compared to 200. You're only halfway. and it's going to help me mentally get over that a lot. I've never hit a plateau in my life, and I don't plan on starting now. So as long as I consistently keep putting on weight through the bulk, I'll probably lose a little bit of strength as I cut for the next 2 weeks or so. Just reduce the carbs and try and clean up a lot of the fat that I put on. And then see where we're at from there. But any strength like that I lose would, I might lose a rep or two on each of my compounds, Maybe some sustained strength and also towards the end of the session, and I'll be fine on my compounds. Who knows? So I'm not overly stressed about that. I went to go to... What did I do after squats? Hack squat. Just focus on going low and slow. The issue is when I go heavy on hack squat, I don't really feel it in my quads. I just feel it in my nervous system, and I'm like, oh, I just can't move this, and I just boom, right back down. So my hack squat's more so like 2 reps from reserve at the moment, focusing on actually getting my quads firing and fatiguing them. And then I went to go do leg press, but I had this really weird splitting pain in my glutes. I think they're just stupid tight, because I've been sitting down pretty much all day, every day at work. So I just need to stretch this week. I'm going to get a massage and go hit a sauna or do some other stuff for recovery. I might video that. That could be fun to video. We'll see how we go. And then I hit up leg extension. We hit the single leg, because I never used one of those machines where it's just single leg, like you pin load either side. And the first time I used it was 2 weeks ago, and I had a huge disparity between my left and my right leg. And my left leg has got slightly better shape than my right leg, but my right leg is bigger, which just indicates less fat, and as a result, less muscle and more fat on my right leg, and the fat's more visible because there's less muscle. So that's what, less shape as a result of it, just less muscle, basically. And I saw that reflected when I used that machine. So I've been using that, which has been really good. Kind of holding back my left leg and working hard on my right leg. So if I finished on my left leg and I was like, oh, it looked like you got a fair few more reps there. It's probably because I could, and I chose not to even out the asymmetries in my legs. Then after that, did some hip adductor, did the max stack, just focus on moving slow. I'm carrying that over from prep and moving slow just because I find if I move too fast, I just use a lot of my adductor tendon versus the adductor muscles, and I don't want to use the elasticity of my tendon. I want to use the actual muscle to contract and move the weight. And then after that, just went for calves, followed by the DC stretching, the dog crap stretching, which is just weighted stretching for 2 minutes. I find that's really helped my calves grow, so I recommend giving that a go. If your calves aren't growing, weighted stretching for 2 minutes at the end of your workout after you train that muscle. And I'm doing it a little bit for my chest and other muscle groups now as well, more so and more so. There's some muscle groups like biceps you can't really do it for, but triceps you can, chest you can, back you kind of can, dead hangs and such. Quads you can't really, unless you can hold the bottom of a squat, but I think that's just gonna be very uncomfortable. Glutes you can't really. Hamstrings you sort of can, but I think you're just better off doing normal stretch for your hamstrings. Calves you most certainly can. I think for calves it's the biggest one. And then after that, I hit abs, hanging leg raises. You'll notice with the hanging leg raises, I don't necessarily go super high. I'm really trying to concentrate on just crunching down on my abs and curling my hips up to get my lower abs firing, as opposed to just swinging my legs up and having my hip flexors. I got very big hip flexors. So doing it the way I did them helps me activate my lower abs and not use my hip flexors. So if that looked a little bit funny, that's my reasoning for doing it that way. People always do hanging leg raises wrong. They just use their hips. I'm trying to focus on my lower abs because that's the weakest part of my core. And I got them, they fired pretty well. And then same for the crunch machine. I was more so focused on trying, that machine's a bit weird. I can kind of lift my legs up as I crunch down, and I'm trying to focus more on doing that than I am on crunching down like a guy hammer curl. But I still haven't quite figured it out. So if the crunch machine looks a little bit weird, same reason, I'm just trying to figure it out. But it was 3 sets, 15 reps on each. I don't train abs overly hard. I'm more so focused on doing the volume for them at the moment. Then after that, it was just 25 minutes of cardio, and I just ate my post-workout meal while there at the gym, just to save a little bit of time. I'll drive home now. I think it's about 10:30, so it's an early night, which is nice. I've got working in tomorrow morning, so try and get a full 7, 8, 9 hours sleep. We'll see how I feel when I get home. Have a nice shower, relax. But we'll call that there. I'm not sure where I'm going to train tomorrow, what I'm going to train. I know what I'm going to train. It's chest, shoulder, and biceps. We'll see if we film it. If we don't film it, I'm thinking on the Sunday, I'll film my day of recovery. I obviously can't film in a massage because there's no room. But if I go do a sauna or anything, I might get some footage of that. Might film me doing some shopping, some meal prepping. We'll see. I'll see what I feel like. I'll see what I think is going to be interesting enough. But outside of that, that's another day of the bulk down. Moving into, I guess, I don't want to call it a cut. We'll call it a recomp within the bulk. Moving into that from tomorrow, because I finished all my pre-cooked meals today. I've actually got to buy some food on the way home. I can't forget that. And outside of that, I think that's all. So if you enjoyed the leg day, make sure to like and subscribe. We're climbing subscribers pretty quick at this stage, which is pretty cool to see. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. They're linked below. If you're interested in online coaching, DM me on Instagram or use the link down below to look at my website. If you're interested in the supplements I take, there's a link to Emerald Labs down below. You can use code MATT to save 15%. I love Emerald Labs. I've always loved them, even before I was sponsored by them. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next bulking day.